It's long been one of the country's most desirable and expensive places to live. Now Queenstown in the wider Lakes District has set a new record. The first region in New Zealand with an average asking price topping $1.6 million. It's a milestone that might be good news for sellers, but bad news for many people who live there. Senior reporter Juliet Speedy has the story.
It's famous for its million-dollar views, and now it takes more than $1.5 million to permanently wake up to one.
Fascinatingly, the Central Otago Lakes District has hit an absolute record high of over $1.6 million this month, and that is the highest we have ever seen for any region, and the first region to tip the $1.6 million mark.
It's a real estate microclimate in what's otherwise been a flat market nationally.
We are talking really big money here, and what I think is really interesting is that region, for whatever reason, has sort of been immune to the economic challenges that we have seen across most of the other regions.
Queenstown does beat to a bit of a different drum, and so it hasn't seen quite the same downturn as the rest of the country in recent times. It has a relatively resilient construction sector because it's still so popular and people want to move down and move into a new house.
And that house is likely to have a hefty price tag in a region where tourism is one of the major industries and employers, and incomes are 14% lower than the national average.
When we look at their affordability, the average house value is 12 times the average household income. So it's really clear that those houses, the average house in Queenstown is not being bought by someone on an average Queenstown income. They're being bought by people on higher incomes locally, or being bought by people that can bring wealth from other parts of the country, whether that's coming from a city elsewhere in New Zealand, retiring, or coming in from overseas.
The city also has more people sharing rentals than New Zealand's average.
The rental market functions a little bit differently to the rest of the country. They've got quite a high rate of flatting, and that reflects that to afford a rental, people do just have to flat with other people to be able to afford those rents too.
Nationally, the average house price rose by only 1.1% over the past year to $862,000. But in the Queenstown Lakes District, prices rose by a whopping 18.9%, leading to the highest ever average house price on record for any area in New Zealand. The prices put Queenstown up with some of the more expensive cities around the world.
You can kind of do winter sports, you can do summer sports, there's treks, there's international flights. Like, it really is kind of the Hamptons of New Zealand, really, isn't it?
But paradise has a price, and it's higher than ever.
Vanessa Williams from realestate.co.nz is with me now. Kia ora, Vanessa. Those Queenstown house prices are eye-watering, aren't you, when you're looking at that $1.6 million average? Are they a complete anomaly, or is that a real indication of where the housing market is going as a whole?
Yeah, kia ora, Samantha. Look, I think it's been really interesting to see that one region, and I do say this, that one region that has really bucked all of the economic trends that we have seen right across the motu. Now, I wouldn't say that that is a sign of the recovery of a house market at all. I mean, we've still got the likes of our super city Auckland that's still really struggling in terms of growth. But you are right, that is eye-watering. It would have been lovely to have purchased a house a few years back and see the increases.
Oh, it would be nice, yeah. Oh, you mentioned Auckland, and am I right in thinking that Auckland and Queenstown used to be kind of neck and neck? They moved in lockstep. Where is the Auckland market heading now?
Yeah, they used to actually be, it used to go toe for toe. It was kind of like, who's going to be the top of the table this month? But when you look at Auckland this month, that's about $1,031,000, so just over the top of $1 million there. Now, looking at that, where did it sort of, the top of the market, that was around $1.25 million at the peak, sort of around that beginning of 2021, and we have seen it really fall off since then. So I think what we're going to see is back to that kind of, when will that recovery kind of happen? We've got a couple of things in play. We really want to see those total stock, that total pool of homes available for New Zealanders. We want to see that drop back, which tells us buyers are quite active, which will then perhaps we'll start to see prices move in every other region, perhaps, other than Central Otago Lakes.
Do you think Auckland has kind of bottomed out, though, at this point?
It would be fair to say that it has been flat for a very long time now, so I wouldn't see it, I mean, you never say never, but would I see it drop below $1 million? I couldn't see that happening given all things being equal. It's really stayed above that $1 million mark, but we've still got quite a trek to get back to that 1.2.
Okay. Looking at some other regions, Gisborne and Coromandel, I mean, they are absolute standouts. Prices rising there 22 22 and 20% respectively. What is driving that?
I just think Kiwis love to see those holiday spots, right? And we do start at this time of year. We start to see the sun, we get the Labor Day out of the way, and we do start to see those markets come to life. Now, they are smaller markets, so a couple of really lovely homes can make quite the difference in those markets. But look, I think, you know, we are a nation of batchers or cribbers if you're down the South Island here.
Yeah, the crib if you're from South Otago.
Absolutely. But, you know, I do think that we start to see that this time of the year, that those beautiful beach towns, they do start to drive prices up.
Okay, and we're looking at another OCR rate that will be out later this month. We may be seeing continued falling interest rates. What is that going to do to the market?
Yeah, there's actually quite a lot of mortgages, I believe, upwards of 40% that are coming off between now and Christmas. So I think that's going to be injecting a whole bunch of money into the economy, which I think is a positive sign given where we've been for 2025. But another drop or even a flattening off, look, I think that's going to give those Kiwis who are thinking about transacting just that little bit more confidence as we head into an election year of 2026.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Vanessa Williams from realestate.co.nz. Thanks so much for your thoughts today.
Thank you.
Thank you.